This week on the Hooters Tour with Lee Moore and Kim Briel.
Hamilton, Ohio is the scene of this week's Hooters Tour event, and this southwestern Ohio community is located on the banks of the Great Miami River. At one time, Hamilton was a thriving industrial city. Major companies like Champion Papers, Armco Steel, and a General Motors Fisher Body plant all contributed to the economy, which provided thousands of jobs. In the 60s, lots of the jobs went south, and Hamiltonians had to regroup. They have, without losing any of the outstanding qualities of this great community and Butler County. Two of the more prominent buildings are on High Street. The Soldiers, Sailors, and Pioneers Monument was built shortly after the Civil War, and it's an awesome sight, especially at night. The Butler County Courthouse is also an imposing building, and this houses the important offices of elected and appointed officials and the courtrooms for the judges. Hamilton and Cincinnati have become nearly one large metropolitan area with some of the finest restaurants, roads, and progressive companies. With a population of nearly 50,000, Hamilton is snuggled between Cincinnati and Dayton without losing its important identity. Welcome to a great community and our host this week, the fine Hamilton Elks Country Club. Hello, everybody. I'm Lee Moore.
And I'm Kim Briel. Lee, this week we're in Hamilton, Ohio, familiar stopping grounds for you.
Yeah, it's been about 35 years since I've been here as a boy growing up, and having left here, leaving a lot of old friends, and I got to renew some old acquaintances this week, and it was, for me, just a real pleasure to be here, and they have been great hosts here at the club, and you're going to hear more about that as we move along.
That's right, and we'll be right back with more of This Week on the Hooters Tour right after this.
Hi, we're the Hooters Girls. Come join us for some fun in the sun for the Hooters Jordan Tour.
Hey, want to spice up your wardrobe without spending a fortune? Hooters has just what you're looking for.
That's right. Just call 1-800-961-2231 and order some terrific Hooters merchandise.
Like shirts, hats, sweats, sunglasses, and more. Hey, are you a race fan?
Call 1-800-961-2231 for great Hooters racing apparel.
And to really make your life complete, there's the Hooters golf bag, umbrella, flying disc, even a subscription to Hooters magazine.
Call 1-800-961-2231 today.
If you take fresh eggs, cream, and right off the farm fresh vegetables, add pure vegetable oil, red wine vinegar, natural honey, herbs and spices, and maybe generous amounts of aged blue cheese in just the right portions, blended under refrigeration to the peak of perfection, you'd know why we call our products naturally fresh.
We blended nature's best naturally.
For the second week in a row, the Hooters Tour professionals are playing a Donald Ross course. It's also an Elks golf course. Head golf professional, Bob Modger.
I'm Bob Modger. I'm the golf professional at the Hamilton Elks Country Club in Hamilton, Ohio. We have a beautiful 18-hole golf course which the players are going to be playing this week. It was designed by Donald Ross in 1925. The greens are very small and heavily bunkered, which will create some difficult shots as well as pin placements. My golf course is in excellent shape due to my superintendent, Ron Patterson, who does a terrific job taking care of the facility. The front nine plays approximately 3,200 yards. Number 5 is an excellent par 3. It plays to 230 yards. It's well guarded by bunkers and will take an excellent shot to get it on the green. A short shot will not kick up. Number 6 and number 8 are the 2 par 5s on the front side. They both play a little bit over 500 yards. We should see a lot of birdies and eagles on these holes. Going to the back 9, number 10 and number 13 are 2 excellent par 4s. It will take maximum golf shots to make par on either one of these holes, as well as birdie. Overall, this golf course is in excellent condition. The touring professionals should have a great week here at the Hamilton Elks Country Club.
A great week here at the Hamilton Elks course at the Pepsi-Cola WMOH Open, and all got started with a big Pro-Am on Wednesday. Let's go back to some early week activities. The Elks Country Club is one of the oldest golf courses in Butler County, and it literally has hundreds of members. Now, many of those members were at the club Tuesday night to meet players from the Hooters Pro Golf Tour at the Pairings Party. The evening saw one of the largest gatherings of the year. The Pairings Party is the main social activity of the tour, and the players really like the opportunity to make friends, friendships that in most cases last a lifetime. The Pro-Am here had 37 teams, and it made for a full day on the golf course. This was a single shotgun start, and again, there were some great scores and lots of good shots and memories. The Pro-Am is another opportunity for the Hooters players to make a lasting impression. It's important to both the players and the amateurs in taking part in this event. Now, the winners, with a score of 55 or 17 under par, Jack O'Keefe was the Hooters Pro representative. Then Jack Radcliffe was on that team. So was Mike Howell, Pete Hutto, and also Jim Lugers. And again, it was 55, 17 under, actually a tie. They won by a match of the cards. The Elks Country Club course is perfect with its length and wonderful fairways, and the weather for the first time was also perfect. Jim Lugers is the tournament director for the Pepsi-Cola WMOH Open.
We spent a whole lot of hours and a couple trips to different sites like Portsmouth and Louisville and Douglas, Georgia, just to kind of see how things had to go. And we learned a lot, and it helped us a whole lot in this first year. And hopefully next year we'll do a lot better job and have a real good show next year.
When we return on This Week on the Hooters Tour, we'll have some early week highlights, and we'll talk to the Titleist man.
Hi, I'm Teresa from the Springdale Hooters. Stick around, we'll have more golf in just a minute.
This week on the Hooters Tour is brought to you in part by Hooters Restaurants, delightfully tacky yet unrefined.
Holes 3, 6, 8, and 11. If you played them even par, your score would be 18.
The weatherman's going to be a big help the first day of the Pepsi-Cola WMOH Open. After heat and humidity had scorched Hamilton earlier, the 80s temperatures really helped. Still, first and second round scores ran just a bit higher than a lot of players thought. Out at the par 3, third hole, we pick up some of the action. Rob Bolt, he's from Walnut Creek, California, and the winner last week at Portsmouth, Ohio, is going to knock in this birdie. And Rob's going to grab a share of fourth place in round one with a 5 under par 67. Jeff Cook out of Chattanooga is going to go for an eagle on the par 5 eighth hole. He'll have to settle for a birdie. Cookie is going to have a good week, but today he's going to be at 3 under par 69. Trey Coker of Boyce, Louisiana is out at hole 11. He gets his birdie. Trey's going to be a factor all week long. His first round 68 is going to help set strong play for tomorrow. He's going to have his best week ever on this tour. Greg Reed of South Africa. Here's a nice bump and run. It goes in the hole at number 8. Greg's going to finish the day at 2 under par 70. John Finster of Tampa has a run at eagle at number 6. He's going to settle for birdie. He'll have an opening round 70. There were 3 players tied for the lead at the end of the first round. Dee Pappas was one of those. So was Kyle Flinton and Scotty Gardner of Clinton, Tennessee. Scotty talked about his 66.
I played well. I made 2 eagle putts from about 35 feet, and that's something you don't really, not really looking for when you tee it off. But I haven't made too many eagles this year, and it always helps. It's a stroke gain. You're looking for birdie, but the eagle comes in there and gives you another stroke.
Friday was sort of an important day around here because a new course record was set. Trey Coker was the guy that got that. There were some more interesting shots, though. Friday, and the good weather is going to continue. The scores are also going to start to get better. Tim Straub, he's out of New York, a winner a couple of weeks ago in Fayetteville, North Carolina, collects birdie at number 7. Timmy's going to get a good check this week, and on this day, he'll be 1 under, and he's 5 under for the 36 holes. The cut is going to be set at 1 under par, and exactly 60 players are going to be in the field for the $100,000 purse this weekend in the Pepsi-Cola WMOH Open. Bill Brown of Dublin, Georgia, is also going to be in that group of 60. His birdie out at 7 leaves him at 143. That's exactly the cut line. Rob Bolt of Walnut Creek, California, is also very much still in the hunt. He's going to get his birdie at 7. This gives him a fine 67, and he has a 2-round total of 10 under par. Rick Kramer of Scottsdale, Arizona, is also going to make the final 2 days, but just barely. He gets birdie at number 7. He's also now at 143. He had a 73 today. The big score in the second round is a 64. That's from Trey Coker, and it breaks the old course record of 65 set several years ago by amateur Joe Miller Jr. Trey again gets the naturally fresh $250 low round of the day money. Made him happy.
Starting today, I birdied number 3, number 7, eagled 8, and birdied 9. 31 on the back, on the front. And then on the back, I birdied 11, 16, and birdied 18 to shoot 64.
So who held the old course record here at Hamilton Elks? It was a guy named Joe Miller Jr.
It'll get broke again, I'm sure, but it was nice to have it for a long time, and couldn't think of giving it up to anybody better than some of these pros on the tour.
And again, Joe Miller Jr., an outstanding golfer who has quite a few records. I'm sure some of them will never be broken. Now, talking about records to be broken, Titleist is known for setting quite a few. Dennis Burchett is the Titleist Tour representative, and he spent some time with us last week. Dennis Burchett has a job lots of people would like. He roams the country selling and promoting his products to professional golfers at every level.
I'm there to promote Titleist as a company, Titleist and FootJoy worldwide. And in doing so, I'm there to provide the players with golf balls, golf shoes, gloves, headwear, and actually my primary focus is golf clubs, Titleist golf clubs.
And just who are his clients?
We have several players who are under contract with us to play our irons, our DCI irons, to carry the Titleist bag, wear the Titleist headwear. And it's my job to make sure that the equipment they have is right for them, and to solicit new players to play our equipment on the PGA Tour, and to make the players familiar with what we have.
And how about his visit this week to the Hooters Tour?
I brought along some sample clubs for people to hit this week. It's the first time anyone from Titleist has done that on the Hooters Tour. And my point being is to let them see what we have, and let's see if they like it. Let's see how they hit it, and we go from there. There are very many young, good players out here that we think one day could play the PGA Tour, and ultimately we want to have more people on the PGA Tour using our products. So that's really why I'm here.
A lot of great things still to come.
Yeah, when we come back, we're going to talk about Saturday and Sunday, always big days. It's hot here in Hamilton, and we had some great hot competition. Also, we're going to meet our Jackaroo Player of the Week, David Schreier.
Hi, I'm Jennifer from the Newport, Kentucky Hooters. Stick around and we'll have more golf.
This week on the Hooters Tour is brought to you in part by Bud Light. Won't fill you up and never let you down. And by Naturally Fresh Foods, preservative-free salad dressings, sauces, and dips.
What is that? Oh my gosh, it's a little chimp. Oh, he looks like a little person.
They're really not.
Look how smart he is.
They're not very intelligent, honey. They're dopey.
Look at him.
We have a dummy on our hood. Oh, where's he going?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
And now, Valley of the Apes.
Hey, you! Why are you sitting at home watching Hooters sports on TV? Why aren't you at Hooters? If you were at Hooters right now, you could be enjoying Hooters' nearly world-famous chicken wings. And other great stuff served up by the Hooters girls. And watching Hooters sports at Hooters is a lot more fun than sitting there by yourself. See? Now get up off that couch and go to Hooters. Here, let me help you get started. You're not still sitting there, are you?
What made Saturday very interesting, some brand new names have gone to the top of the leaderboard.
Over half the field posted par or better on the Hamilton Elks Golf Course on Friday. On Saturday, only 9 players shot over par. It would appear that Rob Bolt of Walnut Creek, California, has some momentum going after last week's win in Portsmouth, Ohio. On hole number 11, Rob makes birdie, sending him to 12 under par for the tournament. He'll finish with a disappointing 71 and is 4 off the pace heading into Sunday. Jason Larson of San Ramon, California, started the day at 10 under par. This birdie on the first hole gets him within 1 stroke of the leader. Another birdie at the 9th hole puts him at 13 under, 3 under for the day. Jason will finish with a 69, and he's 2 off the mark. Trey Coker of Boise, Louisiana, and Kyle Flinton of Tempe, Arizona, played together on Friday. They were paired together on Saturday again in the final group. Kyle loses a stroke to par early, but gets it back here on hole number 7. His 3 gets him to 11 under par. Here he is again on hole 14. A birdie 2 moves Kyle to 12 under par. Kyle will finish the day with a birdie and a round of 68. He shares the lead with his playing partner, Trey Coker. This birdie at the 18th hole helps him to retain his position. The 54-hole summary has Coker and Flinton on top. Jason Larson is 2 back at 13 under, with Jack O'Keefe moving up 4 spots with his 66. 4 other names to keep an eye on is Steve Mulcahy, Brad Ott, Tim Straub, and Brian Contact. Rob Bolt is also at 11 under par. The naturally fresh low round of the day goes to Mike McGee of Middletown, Ohio, with an 8 under par round of 64.
Well, I drove it good all day. I was in the fairway all day, and the course is not real long, so if you drive it in the fairway, then you can spin the ball from the fairway. So I hit a lot of close wedges and just made a lot of putts.
Sunday will be exciting. 2 guys tied for the lead at 15 under. If you had 3 guesses on who would win in Hamilton, you probably would have pretty good odds of winning. If you had 3 guesses on what the winning score would be, well then, the percentage would go down. Kyle Flinton and Trey Coker started the day at -15. Jason Larson was 2 back. He had this eagle putt on the par 5 8th hole. He'll settle for birdie and goes to 16 under par, and at the time, our leader. Jack O'Keefe was another one trying to jump out in front. This birdie on hole number 2 gets Jack to 13 under par. By the time Jack had come to the 10th hole, he was at -11, 1 over for the day. A bogey on the 10th hole drops him back to 10 under par. Meanwhile, Steve Mulcahy was making strides. After starting the day at 11 under par, Steve was putting for birdie on hole 15 to go to 15 under par and a share of the lead. He just misses. O'Keefe makes a run on 15, bunker shot, setting up a birdie. He's now at 12 under par. Jack comes back on 16, and O'Keefe nails the flag. He goes back to back and within 2 strokes with 2 holes to play. On 17, he makes this approach, but just leaves the putt short. Jack finishes in a 5-way tie for 5th. Kyle Flinton just played to the scorecard. Here on number 8, he makes a birdie to get back to even par for the day. This approach on the par 5 11th hole sets up another birdie on what he recalls as few and far between. On hole number 17, Kyle gets a break and gets up and down to save par and keep a 1-stroke lead going into the last hole.
Just some lucky breaks out there today. Some guys came at me real hard and fast and faltered down the end, and somehow I managed to keep the nerves together to where I hold all the 3 and 4 footers that I could to hold on the 1-shot lead, and played 18 smart, just kept it below the hole where I wouldn't get in trouble.
A quick look at the final leaderboard. Larson and Mulcahy won back in second. Along with Kevin Kraft, who made up 8 strokes today, he earns the Naturally Fresh low round of the day with a 64.
Well, I was 9 back starting the day, and I told my caddy walking down number 1 that I wasn't really feeling all that motivated. I blew 3 shots coming in yesterday. I had it 5 under and made a bogey and a double coming in, so I wasn't really, I didn't feel like I was as up for it. I made about a 25-footer on 1, and everything just snapped, and I birdied the first 3 and made good pars on 4 and 5, birdied 6, parred 7. I missed a 3-footer for birdie on 7, and then birdied 8 and 9. So just everything fell into place.
I don't think anyone on the Hooters Tour knows the peaks and valleys of professional golf like David Schreier. Right now, he's on one of those peaks, and he's our Jackaroo Player of the Week.
You know, I always knew I had it in me. I didn't know whether I'd ever show it. I guess I went to a college where I could play early. Huntington was national champions a couple years before I got there and had some good players, but I stepped in and I got into the top 5 my first year. My first collegiate tournament, I finished 2nd behind Brad Faxon in the Furman Invitation, and in my first collegiate tournament, and I knew I could play at that point, and from then on I just had a really brilliant collegiate career on a great team with some really good players. And
Dave was a 4-time NCAA Division II All-American. He won the individual national title in 1988, and in 1992 he made it to the PGA Tour.
When I got my card in '92, I didn't feel like I was good enough to play out there, so I went in and I took like 3 months of just rigorous ball hitting and I injured myself during that time, and then I had to play on the injury for a year, almost 2 years, and I really just ripped my elbow up.
The injury to his elbow slowed him down considerably. It also limited his practice time. And mentally, David was beating himself up, talking to himself when he missed putts.
Every level I had won at coming into that point, and I knew I was good enough at that time to win. And 3 or 4 times that year I'd had putts on the 18th hole to either win or go into a playoff, and I missed them. Yeah. I had a 15-footer to win, and I missed it, and left it about 2 feet, and then I missed it. And it was a mental thing. I was talking to myself when I was putting, like, you got to make this and that.
You're right.
I've learned from there. I've worked with some sports psychologist, David Wright, out in California, and he's taught me to pretty much not talk to myself.
And about his family, well, they're tight. His sister Cindy plays on the LPGA.
Oh yeah, she beat everybody in the city. I mean, she was the best at everything, and she pushed me along. And without her, you know, I owe so much to her. I owe so much to my folks. Yeah. I mean, my folks just worked so hard to give me and my sister an opportunity to do what we've done.
Dave Schreier has come a long way since turning pro in 1989. He's healthy, he's happy, and he has his priorities in order.
If you don't have those kind of dreams out here, you're fooling yourself, you know, because you got to strive to be better. And if you get, you know, kind of worried about where you're at, you know, and and everything, and you don't think you belong, and you're not going to play well. And you got to be able to say, hey, you know, I'm going to be better than I am. And if you win the tournament, you're going to go out and play better the next week.
David Schreier, a quality golfer, nice young man, great golfing family.
Yeah, he and his sister Cindy that we'd mentioned before, you talked about in the piece there, both great golfers. He's on his way back to the PGA Tour, I'm sure. Now, you know, one of the things we do each week is check out that Naturally Fresh Foods Points Championship race, Kim. That is getting down to
That's right.
I mean, right there, that real battle's locked in. We'll check that out, and we'll check out the money on the Hooters Tour when we come back.
My barbecue sauce has the big, bold taste that really makes barbecue taste great. Barbecue sauce.
That's not barbecue sauce. This is barbecue sauce.
Jackaroo barbecue sauce. Big taste from a big place.
This week on the Hooters Tour is brought to you in part by Jackaroo Barbecue Sauce, a big taste from a big place.
This is my favorite time of the season because now things change on the Naturally Fresh Points race.
Yeah, Mike Schwartz has been up there almost, it seems like all season long, but he and Jack, his good buddy, have had that real battle going on. So as we check that out today, I mean, that's the kind of race, plus that's made this an interesting year. And Kim, it's been an interesting week here for me. It's been sort of a homecoming of sorts, and for our tour, it's been a great first-time stop. I think we got a foundation put under here in Hamilton, Ohio, so we're really looking forward to coming back here in the years in the future. We want to thank you for joining us today, and Kim and I are going to be doing a special show.
Very special show. Anybody who's ever been involved with charities will want to tune in.
Yeah, and you know, this tour is a lot about, and Hooters is a lot about charity, so join us for that next week on This Week on the Hooters Tour.
And if you would like to try one of the great products from Naturally Fresh Foods, call 1-800-GIFT-PACK.
Hi, this is Becky from the Springdale, Ohio Hooters. Join us next week for This Week on the Hooters Tour.